Welcome fluffy bunnies to my Stanwell Moor Part 2 run. This is a 28.39 mile run in total over the two parts, and that takes me 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's an average speed of 12.1 miles per hour. I do an ascent of 722 feet with an average power of 119 watts. Now the boring bits are out of the way, we can just talk more about the run and why I'm doing it. As from the first video, I'm doing this because I'm in training and I'm going to be doing the London to Brighton run. So this is part of my training video series. I do other training in between, but I do once a week a run somewhere. This is completely different from my structured training, which is going to the same loop or same destination. This is a different destination every single week, and I'll be dragging you poor souls along with me. I've just turned right here rather than going the left because I didn't want to go and do the parkour again. So this turned into a loop. This wasn't the intention to begin with, but I decided that I wanted to go back a different way. And it turned into a familiar route for me, which I won't show up in the video because there are literally 10-15 videos of me doing the same piece, which is going back down to the paddling arm of the canal and cycling down the canal for another 7 miles. Over to the right is King George VI Reservoir, completed in 1939, but not actually filled up until a lot later because of the Second World War. When it's full, it can hold 3,493 million gallons of water. It's supposed during the war that Clapham Junction railway station was built inside the reservoir. Not the real one, of course, but it was to confuse the Luftwaffe. On our left is the Heathrow Airport, and we are heading towards Hatton Cross. Not the station, the actual area of Hatton Cross. Useless fact for you, what was there before Heathrow Airport? There was the RAF Northolt. RAF Northolt used to be the busiest European hub airport. Heathrow Airport was opened on the 25th of March 1946, and it wasn't called Heathrow at the time, it was called London Airport. It wasn't until 1966, in September of that year, that it was renamed to Heathrow. If you ever wondered what happened to Terminal 1, there was a Terminal 1, it just got outgrown. So what they did was in 2015 was to close it. What they've subsequently done is flatten the place to make it part of Terminal 2, which is going to cost them £1 billion. As we're hugging the airport again, as you can see on the left, there's buses and a whole road system inside there, and we just get the crappy road on the outside. It's actually pretty bumpy here. Here's my next useless fact. It's between 80 and 90,000 people that work at Heathrow. That just shows you how big the place is. Just to emphasise how big Heathrow actually is, I've cut out a good 2 to 3, maybe even more minutes of cycling here, and I'm still sitting next to Heathrow Airport. We've finally got away from the Heathrow Airport area. This is Cranford, and we're just going down this little underpass here, heading towards Cranford Park and the Canal. This is home territory for me now. This is Cranford Park and Berkeley Meadows on the left. Berkeley Meadows is the first piece, and it's got a wonderful little park in there for the kids, split into 2 sections, kind of a parkour area and a proper little kiddie section. And then behind that is the actual Cranford Park, which is kind of a bit of a nature reserve as well. And it's got stables in it, and it's thoroughly worth going to check out. love this section. I'm not going to say too much on it, but we're literally under the roundabout for the M4. Now I've got thoughts of home and getting home. Here we're just slogging up to the zigzag bridge which takes you down to the canal, and just on our left here you should just be able to see the canal there. We'll see it again in a second. And here's the Grand Union, and on our left in just a second you'll see a little bridge, and that's the start of the Paddington arm of that section, and that will take you all the way into London, right up to Paddington Station, hence why it's called the Paddington Arm. Homeward bound. I'm not going to record any more from here. You can go back and have a look at my other rambles. I've got plenty of videos showing me cycling down here, heading towards Northala, and that's where I come off and head home. See you everybody in the next video.